welcome into First Take on a Feel Good Friday. My favorite day of the week. Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman, Molly.
What's going on, man?
How are you
doing,
guys?
Thank y'all so much.
And also, happy birthday.
I don't get any love, huh?
Of course, you always get love, of course. But we're going to have a lot of surprises for you throughout the show.
Oh, Lord, I don't need all that.
So first, this is for me. Stephanie, could you please come out?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, excuse me.
I got you a Steelers balloon.
I did not know this.
We got some cupcakes.
Oh.
I didn't know what you like.
Thank you so much.
I tried to get you a variety.
This man is on a diet.
So you can pick your favorite.
Well, I can eat something.
Oh,
I can
and
eat
I
something.
have this
I can
too.
figure that out.
Hold on,
What's this? What's this? What is this? What is this?
You have to wear this for the whole show.
Oh, Mom, what is this?
Birthday necklace. We need to attach
We can do this. We can do this.
Yes.
We can do this. We can do
In the
this.
Karen
I'll
house,
do
we
it.
celebrate everything.
I'll do it. Thank you so much.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
We love you.
Appreciate it. Thank you
All right,
so much.
but
I'll wear it. I'll wear it. Thanks a lot, my man.
I just want you to know the next two surprises are going to be much better than
Oh,
this.
Lord.
So stay tuned.
Hey, I like this stuff. I like this.
it?
I mean, it clashes with the tie a
No,
little
it
bit,
looks
but we
good.
can do that.
It looks
We
good.
can do
It
that.
pops. It shines.
There we go. There we go.
So coming up, we're going to have a lot of fun today. A major guest joining us, Kevin Hart, will be in the house. Don't miss his takeover of the show. He's going to be moderating. It'll be a lot of fun, plus more surprises. But first, there is an NFC clash in Lambeau, and it's going to be good. When the Cowboys come to town, Dallas has now won 4 in a row under Dak Prescott after losing to the Giants Week 1. And Green Bay's only loss came at undefeated Minnesota. But Aaron Rodgers hasn't been himself this season with the lowest completion percentage in the entire league. I love this question, Stephen A., and I love this game. Who is this a bigger deal for, bigger game for, Dak Prescott or Aaron Rodgers?
I'm going to say this. I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's going to be Aaron Rodgers. It's a bigger game. It's a bigger game. It's a bigger game for Aaron Rodgers.
You don't really think that.
I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. Because Dak Prescott is playing with house money.
Yep.
You are a 4th-round pick. You are a rookie. You have exceeded expectations. And even though, I'm sorry, what's up?
No, keep going.
I'm sorry. Even though you got that going on, the bottom line is this. When you look at it, you got to say to yourself, Max, something is wrong with this picture with Aaron Rodgers here. We're talking about him in a way. I don't know what y'all do.
What's wrong with the picture is the Steelers balloon is hitting you in the head.
I got it. We can do that. We can do that. It's all right. It's all right. It's okay.
It's just such a better visual.
Let the
It's
Steelers.
a party Friday.
I'm good with it. I'm good with it. I'm totally good with it. I'm totally good with it. All right. Let me be real. Let's get back to Aaron Rodgers here. This is a bad man. He's a bad man, Max, okay? But he hasn't been that this year. Look at these 4 games. 58% completion in week 1, 55 in week 2, 62 in week 3 against Detroit. Then week 5, because they had a bye in week 4 or whatever, he completed 51% of his passes. This is not Aaron Rodgers. This is not the Aaron Rodgers that I know. Now, obviously, Jordy Nelson is back, but not really back. But the flip side to all of it is this. As I've watched Aaron Rodgers, as I've watched him perform this year, whether inside the pocket, scrambling outside to his left or right, or whatever the case may be, Aaron Rodgers has been a shell of the Aaron Rodgers that we know. So what I'm saying to you is that, of course, one game doesn't define him or anything like that, but I'm saying it's important because with the Dallas Cowboys coming into town, with all the noise about this rookie sensation named Dak Prescott, Aaron Rodgers is the kind of dude, he's the same kind of guy that knew about the legacy of Brett Favre and all of that stuff. Remember when Brett Favre came back, when he decided not to retire in 2008? And Aaron Rodgers said, I guess it's going to be an open competition. So what, so be it. Don't make a difference to me. I believe in myself. I believe what I can do. Let's get it on. That's the kind of attitude that he had. That was a hint towards his greatness. You got Dak Prescott rolling up in Lambeau Field this Sunday. You got to handle your business. You can't be completing 56% of your passes, okay? You got 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Got to remember, there were seasons where Aaron Rodgers only threw 5 or 6 interceptions the entire season. He's already got 3 in 4 games. It's not the Aaron Rodgers that we know. It's not the Aaron Rodgers that we love. It ain't the bad man that I know him to be. So I do believe that this game, particularly since it's against Dak Prescott and the Cowboys, is of some significance. And I think because of that, which is why I say this game is more important to him, because we're looking at him and we're not seeing what we're accustomed to seeing from him.
Remember when you were a kid and it's your birthday and you got a punch for every year you were and all that?
No, I had sisters.
Yeah, okay, well, Stephen A., you can't do that to Stephen A. because that's like assault at his age.
Yeah.
Yes.
So instead, I'm just going to beat you in all these debates as your birthday gift. That's your birthday gift.
Well, I would appreciate you trying.
Now,
I would appreciate
let's start
that.
with this one. Of course, this is a bigger game for Dak Prescott than Aaron Rodgers. First of all, Aaron Rodgers loses the game. Is he in decline last season, this season? Maybe, who knows, whatever. It's not going to affect his future. They don't want him taking his job. Let's look at the downside for Dak Prescott. And I'm going to use one of your favorite words, Stephen A. Smith. This will be his possibly penultimate start this year. If he loses, he goes to Green Bay and loses.
By the way, penultimate for our listeners. See, I will explain. It means next to last.
Yes. Well, you use it like every day.
I'm just saying, you used it, but you didn't tell them what it meant. Okay, go ahead.
You got like 11 million Twitter followers. If they don't know what penultimate means by now as much as you use it.
It's not 11 million. It's 3. But go ahead.
3 million.
Okay.
My vocabulary is growing every day. It's amazing.
So if Dak Prescott loses at Green Bay, then they have a bye. And then comes back, it's going to be at Cowboys, Eagles, Cowboys, Wentz, Prescott. If he loses that game, which is a distinct possibility, I wouldn't say the Cowboys are better than the Eagles, we'll see. You lose consecutive games, one in your division, that's Romo's job again. Jerry Jones is paying that man a lot of money. Jerry Jones has said he wants it to be Romo's job. He said Romo's ready. By then, Romo will be no physical issues whatsoever. It will be Romo's job. You beat Green Bay. Let's look at the upside. You beat Green Bay, you could even lose to the Eagles. You're going to keep that job. You go to Lambeau, so there's the downside where if you lose, there's a guy coming to take your job. But then there's also the upside for Dak. If you win, you are going to be the Dallas Cowboys quarterback maybe for the rest of this season, Stephen A. Smith. There's more on the line for Dak Prescott. There's no one coming to take Aaron Rodgers' job.
Well, listen, you can say that, but I think that you're playing with house money when you're going up against one of the greatest quarterbacks in this game, if not the most talented quarterback we've ever seen. If you're Dak Prescott and you play for the Dallas Cowboys, you're going up against a Green Bay Packers squad that's got the #1 rush defense, and they've got Aaron Rodgers there with a healthy slew of receivers. I think you are playing with house money. Not to mention the fact, let's keep in mind, we're talking about an Aaron Rodgers that has been struggling. We're talking about an Aaron Rodgers that is putting in the worst performance of his career as the starting quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. Had that not been the case, then this is just another game, and whatever happens, happens. But we have been chronicling the demise of Aaron Rodgers to some degree. I don't believe that. You don't believe that. But there are a lot of people out there that say, what the hell has happened with Aaron Rodgers? Why doesn't he seem to be himself? We don't get that. We don't understand what the issue is. And because of it, we're saying, excuse me, we need to be reminded of exactly what you bring to the table. Even in a down year, that was last year, had 31 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. We're looking at him and we're saying, okay, but that was still a down year. But we thought it was an aberration because you didn't have Jordy Nelson. Well, Jordy Nelson is back, and Randall Cobb is still there. And Richard Rodgers and Eddie Lacy and the boys are still there. Mike McCarthy is still your coach. Ted Thompson is still your GM. Your offensive line is relatively intact. And on the defensive side of the ball, Clay Matthews and the crew has one of the top rushing defenses in the game. And so when you look at it, you're saying to yourself, wait a minute, Aaron Rodgers, if you are that dude, suddenly we're not talking about Minnesota being the dominant force that it is, because no matter how formidable their defense is, they still have a problem in the NFC North because they have to deal with you, Aaron Rodgers. Nobody's saying that right now, which is why we need to see something.
There's a big difference there.
This Sunday.
There's a big difference there in that description, though. Aaron Rodgers, what's at stake for him, according to you, is his reputation. His reputation as the best quarterback in the world will take another hit, and people like Molly will say, see, it is Tom Brady or whoever else people want to put up there ahead of Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I will.
But right, sure, you say that now. But the difference is with Dak Prescott, it's not his reputation that takes a hit, it's his job description on Sunday that takes a hit. And let me say this, since you brought up, and that's a bigger deal, since you brought up the run defense for Green Bay.
Yep.
The mighty Dallas Cowboys offensive line that's made Ezekiel Elliott look like Jim Brown.
We're about to find out about them this weekend.
And see, for the first time, they're running up against a team where you go, boy, that's strength on strength. What if Dallas can't run the ball? Then, for the first time this season, it truly will be on Dak. And if they lose if they lose the first time they can't run the ball, that's going to highlight Dak's status as a rookie quarterback, who, by the way, has yet to throw an interception. That's another thing. You think that, how long can that go on?
155 passes.
Eventually, he's going to throw an interception, maybe this week when they're going to have a hard time running the ball.
What I'm saying to you is, as impressive as it is, what you're prognosticating is contingent on the offensive line creating holes for Ezekiel Elliott, because you have to assume one way or the other. If what has been happening happens, then Dak again is playing with house money. But if Green Bay's defense shows up against the run and forces Dak Prescott to be the one who beats them, now we've got a different scenario. What I'm saying to you is those are a bunch of ifs attached to yours. To me, it's about Aaron Rodgers. No matter what scenario you pick, Aaron Rodgers has to show up, because we have become increasingly alarmed by what we have not been seeing from him. He's not throwing guys open. He's overthrowing dudes. His fundamentals seem to have gone out the window. You got Coach Mike McCarthy. You know, there doesn't seem to be any hardcore coaching coming his way. You remember how Mike Holmgren, how it was famous for Mike Holmgren really coaching Brett Favre, and how Brett Favre wasn't allowed to do what he wanted to do, when he wanted to do it, how he wanted to do it, and Holmgren got in him, and everybody was wondering about that, but it ultimately led to a Super Bowl title and 2 Super Bowl appearances. This is one of those situations where people are starting to question what level of coaching, and I'm not questioning Mike McCarthy in any way. I'm simply echoing the sentiments of those out there watching the Green Bay Packers on a weekly basis. They're questioning how much hardcore coaching Aaron Rodgers is receiving from Mike McCarthy, who, by the way, is calling plays again this year, which he wasn't doing the last couple of years. That was supposed to be an uptick. That was supposed to be an upswing. That's not the case now.
I'll tell you what I see with Aaron Rodgers. Who doesn't have the same team around him quite in terms of the quality of the team, and you touched on that he had years ago, several years ago. It doesn't seem to me like, is he inaccurate? Is he not making completions? I mean, his percentage indicates that, reflects it. Yes, that's true, but he still looks like he knows what he's doing to me. He's not just scrambling with no idea. He's got a plan. That's a matter of fine-tuning things. But let me ask you this. What's the consequence if Aaron Rodgers doesn't ball out against Dak Prescott, against the Cowboys? What is the actual consequence? Someone's going to write an article about Aaron Rodgers. That's the consequence. What's the consequence if Dak doesn't do well against the Packers?
What I'm saying,
he could lose his job.
No. But we're not talking about him wetting the bed and stinking up the joint, because we understand that reality. But I'm talking about the need to perform exceptionally well in this particular game. I'm saying to you that Dak Prescott can have an average game with no turnovers, and we'll still find ourselves impressed with this young 4th-round pick who's a rookie who's led the Dallas Cowboys on this surge earlier on in the season. Aaron Rodgers isn't afforded that luxury. Win, lose, or draw, we're going to look at the specific performance of Aaron Rodgers and ask ourselves, what the hell has happened to you? Because he's a superstar. This dude, and you know this, when it comes to superstars, there's a standard of excellence that you are held to that doesn't compare to everybody else. There's very little wiggle room for Aaron Rodgers to dissipate in any way, because we have an expectation when it comes to him.
And let's say he doesn't live up to it. Right. Okay, the standards are always higher for superstars. And what happens if he doesn't live up?
Well, again, what happens with Dak Prescott?
His job.
Wait a minute, that's not necessarily so.
Oh, no, but then it's Eagles. It's Eagles or bust.
If he sticks up the joint, yes. But I'm saying to you, Aaron Rodgers has to play at an exceptional level.
I'm saying if Dak plays well and they lose, he could play well again against Carson Wentz, and they could lose again, and that's the opening the Cowboys need as an excuse to play the guy who they're paying still like they owe him $50 million.
Well, actually,
that's what's going to happen.
Actually, they're looking for the excuse not to play Tony Romo, because from what we're hearing, you know, he's getting healthier and healthier. Jerry Jones has said, you know, he's passing health tests and what have you, but they're still saying, slow down, big boy.
Right, so that's this week, bye week, next week?
Hold on, they're saying, let's take it slow. Why? Because they don't want to disrupt the momentum that this is built. Now, you say momentum. I'm not talking wins and W's. I'm talking about the performance of the offense. What if Green Bay beat Dallas 40-37? How is that the fault of Dak Prescott?
It's not, but
Thank you.
Nevertheless, it will be held against him.
No, it won't.
When it comes to decision-making, if they lose that game, I'm just telling you what's going to happen. If they lose that game to Green Bay and they lose to the Eagles, Romo will show up the following week. That's Romo's job again. That's just the way it works. Okay. So, you want to lose his job or you want to keep his job?
Aaron Rodgers. I'm about stars. I'm about the big boys showing up in moments that matter and reminding us of the greatness we've applied to them. To me, that's my theory. That's my approach. That's the way I think about it. I have not seen this Aaron Rodgers that I once said I would take ahead of Tom Brady because I consider him the most talented quarterback in the game. I have not seen that man this season. And I'm saying I need to see Aaron Rodgers because there's some dude with Aaron Rodgers' jersey showing up in a green and yellow uniform for the Green Bay Packers for the first 5 weeks of this season, and it has not been Aaron Rodgers. I need to see Aaron Rodgers.
I thought you were about necklaces and balloons.
Well, you know what? The balloon is kind of getting on my nerves.
I'll move it for you.
You got to move it. This balloon will be gone, but I don't mind a necklace.
You're getting mad at the balloon.
Listen.
Odell Beckham Jr., you can punch it if you want
Those Mr. T commercials that are on right now, if he could wear all that 40 pounds of gold, I could wear this for an afternoon. I can do that.
Green Bay's favored by 3.5. And to your point about Dak with no interceptions, Aaron's thrown 205 passes against the Cowboys, including the playoffs, no interceptions. So it'll be INT watch. But we want to hear from you guys on this huge NFC matchup. Is this a bigger game for Dak or Rodgers? Make your voice heard. Go on our Twitter page and vote now.
So if you do end up winning and going up there against Max and Stephen A, the advice I'm going to give you is know your bleep.
Yes, sir. It's about to get real. The First Take, Your Take viewer contest is here. You can win a chance to debate Stephen A, Max Kellerman right here on national television. All you have to do is go to firsttakeyourtake.com. Then you upload a 1-minute video with your best original sports debate. Please keep it clean. No music, team logos, trademarks, or copyrighted material. 2 winners will be selected by our show staff. So get busy, people. We could see you at the debate desk sooner than later.
On my radio show, SiriusXM Mad Dog Sports Radio.
What channel?
Every weekday. Channel 82. Comes on every weekday from 1 to 3 p.m. Various callers called me yesterday saying, Stephen A., do we send in 1 video and that's it? No. The goal is for you to watch the show each day, and when you're watching the show, pick a debate that we broached and send it in. So you could actually send in a video every day.
You could strike out on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, hit on Friday.
There you go. That's the goal. Watch and debate some. Don't bring me a debate from 6 months ago.
No, I want to debate. Relevant,
and when I look every day at these videos, I want to see something that we discussed yesterday, and I want you to debate that. That's what I'm saying.
Keep them fresh,
That's what I'm looking for. And you're not limited to 1. You can send in a video each day. One day you might not get picked, another day you might.
You got it.
Let's go.
Thursday
like the birthday necklace. This is the birthday necklace Molly gave me.
It's cute.
Yeah, it's nice.
You like it?
Nice. Little too flashy.
Oh, stop it.
It's all right. Let's go. Let's go.
Thursday Night Football featured a tough game for the Broncos last night as they were without head coach Gary Kubiak. Chargers quarterback Phil Rivers threw for 178 yards and 1 TD, and the Chargers held off the Broncos 21-13. The victory may have saved Coach Mike McCoy's job, though. Stephen A., did you enjoy the game?
No, I did not. I did not at all. Could y'all take that video off, put the camera on me right here? Thursday Night Football needs to go. It's horrible. Football on the NFL level should be played on Sundays and Mondays. College football should be on Saturdays. And can we think about the kids? Because we all know Stevie A love the kids.
Yeah.
He sure does. He love the kids, okay? Give them Friday nights. I mean, what the hell is going on? The fact of the matter is, other than opening night, Jets, Bills, I'm not talking about Cam and Denver, that opened the season. But what I'm saying is this. The Bills and the Jets was the only good game. Patriots 27-0 over the Texans. That game stunk. Don't get me started with the Bengals Dolphins. I mean, you know you fell asleep. Don't even act like you stayed up to watch that snore fest, okay? I mean, give me a break. Give me a break. I mean, please, just stop it, okay? And then, of course, Chip Kelly and his San Francisco 49ers had the temerity to just sit up there and invade our airwaves and be on there against the Cardinals, which is a game they lost, okay? The 49ers lost. Thursday Night Football, somebody's at a disadvantage. Teams are tired. They're not healthy. They don't appear to be as interested. They appear to be ill-prepared compared to a particular opponent. There's always somebody. Thursday night football is not good for the interest of the game. It's an extra day for fans to watch football. I understand that. I know a couple of people right now cussing me out because they love their football. You hear me, JJ?
You're not going to have to wait long to hear about it.
Listen, it's not the players. The players, listen, the bottom line is the quality of football drastically dissipates on Thursday night compared to what we see on Sundays and Mondays. It has no business existing. They need to get rid of it and stop wasting our time with it. It's a sorry product compared to what it normally gives us Sundays and Mondays.
So every Sunday, someone runs up to you in the street and hands you $100. Thanks. Then on a Thursday, they run up and they hand you $50. How dare you? Take this, crumple it up, and throw it back in their face. I want my 100 on Sunday.
Your point is?
Compared to Sunday, yes, it's an inferior product.
Yes, that's all that matters.
Sunday's a holiday.
Compared to nothing, it is a superior product. For example, let's take the Bengals and the Dolphins a couple weeks ago. Dog of a game, right? Ill-prepared Thursday. By the way, there are things you could do to make Thursdays better in terms of bye weeks and when teams play, and they could figure it out a little better, but I had some action in that game in daily fantasy. I had a couple players going, and about 50% of the sports economy, particularly the NFL, it seems to me, is based on some form of gambling, including fantasy football. Was it interesting and exciting for me? Was I texting with my friends and talking trash about who's going to win the game and, like, had something invested emotionally in it?
Fantasy.
That's right. That's right. Sure, that's part of it, though. That's part of the entertainment. On a Thursday night, instead of nothing, you get an NFL game. And last night, by the way, there was a great Dodgers-Nationals game on. I'm flipping back and forth. That's a pretty interesting game, actually. It wasn't contested as crisply as it might have been, but I thought that was a dangerous game for the Broncos going to San Diego. And there was some drama at the end. Oh, my God, are the Chargers going to blow it again? I enjoyed myself. Would it have been better played on Sunday? Yeah. But is it better than nothing? Duh, it's better than nothing. Thursday night, I'm watching football.
Well, once again, you're trying to be slick, okay, and change the argument. Nobody was saying it's better. Nobody was disputing that it's better than nothing.
That's what you're saying.
No, I'm saying that the quality of Thursday's product for the NFL is clearly diminished compared to what we see on Sundays and Mondays.
Not what you said.
By virtue of that, that is what I said.
You said get rid of Thursday night football.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, get rid of it. If you get rid of it, you're saying that nothing is better than what it is.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
I'm being slick.
Well, listen to me. What I'm saying to you...
Trying to distract me with all this jewelry?
Sorry.
Don't.
Sorry.
Oh.
No. I'll leave right here. I'll put it back on. You need to focus, because I don't need you distracted. Stay with me. What I am saying, Max Kellerman, is this. The Thursday night product is inferior to what the NFL customarily gives us on a Sunday or a Monday. It is unfair to the viewer who has expectations of the NFL product. It is unfair to NFL players and coaches and people who have to prepare. And it is not good business to literally plaster an inferior product on national television on a weekly basis just to get a bit more money. By mere virtue of the fact that the Thursday night product appears to be watered down is enough of a reason for it to cease to exist. That is what I am saying.
That's what I said. Therefore, you're making the argument that because it's inferior to Sundays, you would like to get rid of it. If you get rid of it, just so that we're very clear here, because I need you to focus too.
Sure.
If you get rid of it, there will be nothing there on Thursdays, right?
So
therefore, according to you, nothing is better than something.
No, nothing is a worthy sacrifice for the overall integrity of the product. Not that it's better than nothing on a Thursday night. But you're compromising the integrity of the product. That's like you coming in here with a sweatsuit on. I mean, something would be wrong with that picture. I would be like, Max, do we need to talk? Something's wrong because I'm not used to seeing you. I'm always seeing you suited down. Is something wrong? And you would need to explain to me because that is unfamiliar territory for me. That's all I'm saying.
Right. So Stephen A. cares about the kids.
Of course, he sure does.
Let me tell you what Max doesn't care about as a consumer of football. When I'm sitting down on a Thursday night, I'm not thinking about the kids, and I'm not thinking about the players or the coaches or Sunday. I'm thinking about it's Thursday night. Oh, look at this. There's a game on. I'm happy.
Heartless.
I want to sacrifice that.
Heartless. You know, I mean, listen.
In other words, I'm heartless, Duke.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying.
Live squad.
Because
take it all the way back.
Again, I want to be clear.
Yeah.
It's not that it's not better than nothing.
No, I get what you're saying.
It's that you're compromising the integrity of the product because football Thursdays has not measured up.
Do double headers in baseball compromise the integrity of the product?
If it went away, you wouldn't miss it that much.
Do you want to get rid of double headers in baseball?
Oh, you really don't bring
really?
baseball? You gonna compare baseball?
Well, I mean, there's less of product.
Max, do you realize that I got a good chance? Do you realize that if I play baseball, I have a good chance at success if I was in the outfield, eating some sunflower seeds and chilling out, or smoking a cigar and chilling? The ball might not even come to me all game. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? You can't compare baseball to football.
The point is, a baseball game during the day after a night game or a doubleheader, you can expect the second game to be inferior to the first. But you don't make the argument that since it's not as good as the normal product, you completely get rid of it.
Listen, I'm not talking about getting rid of football.
Just take your L.
I'm talking about getting rid.
Just take the L.
I'm waiting to get one. I'm not talking about getting rid of the product. I'm talking about delaying it for 3 days. So it could be played on every other day.
Yeah, I got all this football on Sunday I need. I got football on Sunday all day long. I want it on Thursday.
Let's talk about football. So after winning 4 in a row, the Broncos have now dropped 2 straight to the Chargers and the Falcons. Have you lost faith in the Broncos?
No, not at all. And I can't say I'm surprised so many people have because I saw this coming. Look, Broncos lost 4 games last year. Ain't going to go undefeated this year. And who have they just lost to? They lost to the 2 best offenses that they played in consecutive weeks, one at home, one on the road. The first time without their starting quarterback, the second time without their head coach. And I told you yesterday on this show, we were right here, I said this is a sneaky, tough game for them because they're going on the road to face that offense without their head coach. And the Chargers, by the way, in every single fourth quarter played this season, there have been a time in the fourth quarter where they've had the lead.
Yep.
What does that mean about their team? Fundamentally, that they're good or bad? If you have the lead in every single fourth quarter in every game you've played, well, then they blew it. Okay, but they got that lead.
That was the Giants last year.
Yeah, they got that lead. That ain't a bad team. That's a team that needs to get over that hump, needs to finish games. So that's the team you're going to play. And you lose, by the way, by 1 score, just like you lost by 1 score last week, and suddenly everyone wants to jump off the bandwagon. Now, are the Broncos likely to win another Super Bowl? No team is likely to repeat Super Bowls. It rarely happens. But are they a powerhouse team, an elite team, one of the best in the NFL? Yes. Do they have certain offensive problems? Yup. Just like they did last year when they won the Super Bowl. Remember that?
Yeah.
Here we are again.
Maybe it's Thursday Night Football that got them that quick turnaround.
I'm concerned about the Broncos. Am I officially jumping off the bandwagon in terms of their formidability? No, because when you have a defense that is that elite, you can't ignore that. But, Max, here's what I would ask you to pay attention to. A couple of things. Number one, I think to start off the game or something, if I remember correctly, like 5 of their 6 drives, they've surrendered 4 touchdowns and a field goal. I think that their offensive line has been suspect. I also know this. Even though they're the 7th-ranked defense, they're 19th against the run. Unlike most defenses where your front 7 ultimately cushions your secondary and positions you to make noise in a formidable fashion on the defensive side of the ball. Where Denver's unique is that their secondary, the strength of their defense emanates from their secondary forward. Aqib Talib, Chris Harris Jr., Roby and those boys, they are no joke. They are legitimately big time. We understand it. That's why they rank number 2 against the pass in the entire NFL. But the point that I'm trying to make to you is this. When you can't defend against the run on an elite level and your linebackers have problems in coverage, okay, you now have a problem. Because as Schlereth pointed out to us yesterday, and then he came on my radio show and pointed it out to me. He was talking about this. When you look at these guys, the Denver Broncos defense, if you get them in the man coverage, if you can run the football in them, which are the 2 Achilles heels that you can expose against their defense, you now have a problem. That's not something that I thought about last year too much. You know why? Because they had Danny Trevathan up in there. Remember, they still had Roby and Harris Jr. and Aqib Talib. They also had Danny Trevathan, and they also had Malik Jackson. And even though their defense is still formidable, losing those 2 guys matter. And as a result, you're calling on your offense to step up and do more. Now, granted, These guys, Trevor Siemian and his boys, and Paxton Lynch, they have a stronger arm. They have stronger bodies. They're not as frail as Peyton Manning was last year, entering the final year of his illustrious career. But up here, Peyton Manning was second to none. And he knew how to manage his way out of situations, particularly come postseason. My concern with Denver right now is that those guys are learning on the fly. They're the 25th ranked passing offense in the NFL, even though you got Demaryius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders. That tells me something about what you're lacking up here. It tells me something about what you're lacking in terms of your offensive line being able to protect you. And with a defense that bends, even though it may not break often, that also puts more pressure on the offense. So when I think about this now, all of a sudden I say to myself, can New England beat them? Yeah. Can Pittsburgh beat them? Yeah. Can Kansas City possibly step up and take them? Yeah. Can Oakland do something against them? Yeah. Those are 4 teams right there. And with Jamal Charles coming back for Kansas City, you just never know right now. So it's getting very interesting is what I'm trying to say.
Well, I mean, yeah, sure. Listen, 5-6 weeks in, you're just not now starting to really understand what the teams are. This is a small sample size in the NFL. Everything you said about can those teams beat the Broncos? Yeah, as I said, they lost 4 games last year. They've lost 2 this season. They're not going to go undefeated. They didn't do it last year when they won the Super Bowl. Can I see the Broncos beating the Patriots? Yeah. Can I see the Broncos beating the Steelers, Chiefs, Raiders? Yeah. Goes the other way, too. Now, you talk about what they're missing, Trevathan and especially Malik Jackson. Malik Jackson, I thought, was a real hit. In terms of the linebackers, though, you know, this idea that, and Schlereth brought it up yesterday, and obviously we defer to his, I mean, it goes without saying, to his football knowledge.
Especially Broncos.
But, of course. But when I hear things like you can isolate and exploit their linebackers in coverage, well, yeah, of course, because linebackers, that's not really what they do. I mean, the second, especially compared to that Broncos secondary. Broncos secondary is all-time great. The linebackers are not. All people are really saying is it's an imperfect team. I'm not saying they're perfect. I'm not saying they don't have weaknesses. They weren't perfect and had weaknesses last year when they won the Super Bowl.
It's not the same as last year.
All I'm saying is people are predictably overreacting to a loss against the league's best offense last week when the Broncos didn't have their starting quarterback, and a loss against the second-best offense this week when they didn't have their head coach, and both times they were one-score games.
But here's your problem. Here's your problem, and this is a problem I don't like about you, especially with those eyes of yours. This is what I don't understand about you. You're one of those dudes that you always got to come up with some philosophical reason as to why people are wrong for looking at things a certain way. Well, you got eyes just like everybody. As a matter of fact, better eyes than most of us. You can't just see. You can't just see what it is and what it isn't. You can't see that this team is not the same. You can't see that defensively they don't appear to be as formidable, particularly against the run. You can't see this.
No team is the same, even within the same season. As I said with the Falcons yesterday or 2 days ago, the danger for them is actually peaking too early, as they may have done last year. This is the issue with the NFL. The team you start with, because it's such a physical sport, is not the team you necessarily end with. So had the Super Bowl been played in the first half of the season, even though the Broncos won their first 6 games, do they necessarily win it? No. By the end of the season, they were the best team in football. And that could easily happen right now. I don't see an appreciable difference between them this year and last year. I see more. Is it a little bit less than last year so far? Yes, clearly. They're not 6-0. But
a little bit
more or less the same thing.
A little bit is all it takes with Tom Brady back in the Pittsburgh Steelers in that offense. A little bit is all it takes. A little bit is all it takes. I was getting ready to say a little bit of love is all it takes. Y'all remember that song? But I was just going to say a little bit is all it takes. And that's the difference here. You can't ignore that. You can't ignore that. A little bit is all it takes.
I knew people would overreact, and here it is.
Good points, though. I forgot that they didn't have Trevor Siemian that weekend. Of course, obviously, Gary Kubiak. Coming up next, no more Thunder buddies. Russell Westbrook responded to Kevin Durant's recent comments praising the Golden State Warriors for their selfless environment. Westbrook was asked about Durant's comments at shoot-around on Thursday. Take a listen.
He said, in terms of being a family, you can feel it when you walk through the door. I feel really grateful to play for a team like that, to play with a bunch of players who are selfless and enjoy the game in its purest form. What do you think about him saying that about Golden State?
That's cute, man. It's cute. But, my job is to be able to worry about what's going on here, and we gonna worry about all the selfish guys we got over here, apparently. So we gonna figure that out.
Is it hard, Russ, not to take everything that he says and feel like it's a shot at you guys?
I don't care. To me, it doesn't matter. My job is to worry about here. Honestly, I'm really tired of talking about it. So anytime anybody asks me another question, I'm just not going to answer.
It's cute. I don't know if men love to be called cute. Max, what is going on here?
You know, when this came out, I couldn't wait to come to work this morning to ask the birthday boy, Stephen A. Smith, what's going on. On the surface, it's like, whoa, these guys, what do you know about this?
I can only tell you what I've heard. Let me emphasize that I haven't spoken to Kevin Durant or Russell Westbrook because I don't want to give the impression that I have. I have not. Let me also take a moment to say I want to applaud Russell Westbrook. You cannot be more real while being as respectful as he has been. He has not said a negative word about Kevin Durant, and he has not been a phony in any way.
True.
In my opinion, based on what I know from just talking to dudes around the NBA and knowing what I know about the culture, because I've been covering the NBA, I think their friendship is over. And I can't believe that I'm saying what I'm about to say, but if Russell Westbrook decided that he didn't want to speak to Kevin Durant again, I don't blame him. And it's not because Kevin Durant left. I've asked this question before, and I'm going to say it again. We have watched Kevin Durant cuss out folks in the media, go off on Mark Cuban, calling him an idiot and all of this other stuff, all to come to the defense of a guy that was supposed to be like a little brother to him in Russell Westbrook. How in God's name did Russell Westbrook find out from the media that you're leaving? It's inexcusable. There's nothing. There is absolutely, positively nothing that Kevin Durant can say to justify not calling Russell Westbrook or going to see him. That's my brother. We played together for the last 8 years. We went to a finals together. We went to a couple of conference finals together. How do I depart and not even talk to you? And I'm not talking about to sway my opinion or anything. I gotta at least look you in your face and say to you, yo, this is what I'm doing. Here's why. I gotta at least do that. And I think that we haven't heard anything from Russell Westbrook. I'm gonna assume that the beat, because always, Matt, give love and credit to beat writers. Guys that are there every day covering the team usually know the story. They doing their job, give them their respect and their credit. But I've had people in Oklahoma City reach out to me and say, why does Kevin Durant keep mentioning us? Why does he keep taking shots at us? So whether he's intending to do it or not, it is clear that is how Oklahoma City is taking it. You just saw Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook said, oh, you know, us selfish guys over here. So clearly he took it as a shot at him. Why are you doing that? Why? To me, that kind of stuff is low ball, it's Bush League, and Kevin Durant is very, very lucky. As great as he is, and he's one of the top 3 players in the world, he is lucky he has the support of a Draymond Green, which we will get into later, of a Steph Curry, of a Klay Thompson. Because it's real easy to chirp when you with the big boys on the block. It's real easy to do that. Russell Westbrook should be commended. He has handled himself in exemplary fashion because he has been real, he has been authentic and respectful all at the same time. And I'm not sure Kevin Durant deserves it based on how he handled his departure.
Before I took this job, I was on Sports Nation with, you know, dear friends. I don't know how else to say it. I love these people. Michelle Beadle and Marcellus Wiley. And Marcellus I also did a radio show with. And before there was anything that actually happened, I had discussions with them and talked about it with them. I can't imagine just murking on them one day, and one day I'm just not there without talking to them. In fact, I even wanted to get their input. Not that, I mean, I make my own decisions, but of course,
but you respect
because
them that
these
much.
are people that you work with, you love, and you respect. So I don't get, and on TV, you don't go through the battles like you do in the NBA. You're on these adventures together, man. You're under siege together in these pressure-packed moments. How do you not? And I think it points to the reason they never won a championship. There was something missing in the chemistry. I think most often, you touched on it when you said that Durant said that Westbrook is like his little brother. That was, to me, the issue from afar on Oklahoma City. That the big brother and the better player was actually the beta. And the little brother and the lesser player, by just a little bit at this point, because Westbrook's made it close, is the alpha. And that doesn't seem to work. You know, when the best player is not the alpha personality, I think it's a problem. It was even a problem in Miami when LeBron first got there, and there was like defer to Wade, not defer to Wade. I think that caused chemistry issues in year one.
Yeah, but let me say this. I don't want to hear that excuse for Kevin Durant no more. And forgive my language on the ESPN. Be a grown-ass man. Enough's enough. You understand what I'm saying? If you gonna leave, maybe he lied to us and he did talk with him. I don't know, but we were told, basically by both of them, and I believe Russell Westbrook, that he heard when we heard. That he heard when Kevin Durant wrote the article in the Players Tribune. Russell Westbrook deserved better than that, okay? Period. All of this stuff about alpha and betas and all of it, I get all of that. But my point is, Kevin Durant is a superstar, and he's not a bad guy. He really, really isn't. But how he has handled this has been the antithesis of everything he has projected himself to be. Kevin Durant is not only a good guy, he's a good man. I didn't say boy, I said man. Kevin Durant is a man. And why on earth is all of this happening? You know why this is happening? Because Kevin Durant has departed, and Kevin Durant has given off the impression that there were some problems in Oklahoma City that obviously he didn't air while he was there. Ain't no problem with that. But why you got to air it now that you decided to make the weakest move that I've ever seen by a superstar, by jumping on the bandwagon to go on a two-time, defending Western Conference champion and an NBA champion? You made that call. And then to make that call and then to turn around and the chirp in the direction of the Oklahoma City Thunder, especially Russell Westbrook. Keep in mind, he's the one that got screwed over because we all said, hey, Kevin Durant left. Why are you leaving, bro? Is it because of Russell Westbrook? We pointed the finger at Russell Westbrook. What has Russell Westbrook said? He has not said a word about that man. And everything Kevin Durant says, we all go back to Russell Westbrook. Because who give it there? Oladipo wasn't there. Serge Ibaka's gone. We ain't asking Enes Kanter or Steven Adams. Ain't nobody care about that. So everybody's looking at Russell Westbrook. And you, his boy, you, his teammate, and you can't take a moment to pause and say, damn, if I say this, that's how they gonna look at my man. I can't do that to him. You can't do that? That's not right.
Two things.
It's not right.
Two things. First, I want to address what you just said before I move on from that. One, that's right. Russell Westbrook has handled this like an adult, and Kevin Durant has been, at best, inconsiderate of Russell Westbrook when he's answered questions. In other words, when Durant's like, well, you're going to twist everything I say, the media's going to anyway, so from now on I'm just going to say whatever I want. KD, that's not good enough. If that's your guy, if that's your boy for all those years, you've been through the wars with him, it's not good enough just to say something that the media could possibly take in any other way. Before you open your mouth about Westbrook, you should have considered very carefully how it would be received and only say things that could not be construed as negative towards Westbrook. You should have done that 100%. About that, we're on the same page. But now there's another layer to it, I think, which is this idea that Kevin Durant has to be an alpha because his talent. You'll say because he's marketed that way. Who's not going to take the money? Who's not going to try to market?
I'm not faulting him for that.
But also because his talent is so absurdly out of this world extraordinary that when a guy has that kind of talent, we insist you are alpha. But if the dude just doesn't have that personality, this is what happens. And I think the signals that Durant has been sending out, including with the signing to the Warriors, is, look, I'm not what you want me to be. I'm something else.
Time out. But it doesn't appear like Kevin Durant knows what the hell that something else is. He comes into the league. Look, man, I'm trying to tell you something right now. I think a Dwayne Wade is one of the best human beings I've ever seen in sports ever in my life. I think LeBron James is just an iconic figure. It's just the epitome of what a role model should be.
Makes the world a better place.
I think Carmelo Anthony is a good brother and as real and authentic as it gets. My issue is Kevin Durant is right up there with the rest of them. Kevin Durant's a good guy. Kevin Durant is actually a very nice guy. His brother, his mama, his business manager, the people he works, Kevin Durant is a good dude. The moments that he had when he's bad is when he seems like he's trying to be something else. And then he calls himself, well, I'm just going to say what I want to say, or y'all going to misconstrue anyway, like you can't speak damn English. Yes, you can. If you Kevin Durant, you know how to say something and to make sure that you are very lucid and cogent in your point. You know when you say something that somebody, if you've given them ammunition to go at Russell Westbrook, you know how to avoid that. He has made no effort to do it.
Agreed.
And
therefore,
now what does that say?
Well,
what does that say? You don't give a damn about Russell Westbrook.
The conclusion I draw from that is while he should know better and he should be better to Westbrook and more considerate about the language he uses and the way he says it, while that's all true, it says he wasn't happy in Oklahoma City, which is why he left. He wasn't happy,
wait a minute.
and that's coming out now.
But what I'm saying to you, Max, is that you weren't happy in Oklahoma City. It didn't stop you from coming to the defense of Russell Westbrook.
Well, what are you supposed to do as his teammate?
No, wait a minute. Somebody asking Russell Westbrook about what Mark Cuban said about him wasn't an impetus for Kevin Durant to ingratiate himself into the situation when he grabbed the microphone. Don't answer that.
That's different.
Wait a minute. He did something, called Mark Cuban an idiot.
That's different.
But how's it different?
Because they were saying Westbrook's not a superstar. If you watch Russell Westbrook play, and I like Mark Cuban, but obviously that's all he said.
No.
He said he's an idiot. Of course he's a superstar.
Time out. But he wouldn't let Russell Westbrook speak for himself.
He's being a good teammate.
Wait a minute. Being a good teammate, coming across like that's your man. And we finding out that ain't necessarily the case.
Okay,
that ain't right,
however it comes across when you're on this. Look, we see this with Brandon Marshall, right? You say, come on, Brandon Marshall, Jay Cutler ain't what you're saying he was, but when he's on his team, you know what you got in Brandon Marshall. You got a good teammate who's going to always stick up for his guys. That's what Durant was doing. Now you're going to hold that against him? Because it turns out he was unhappy?
I am holding it against it. He should shut the hell up if he's not gonna sit up there and be sensitive to the kind of situation that he's putting Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook don't deserve that from him.
Now,
that's the bottom line.
Right. Now that's right. He should be better to Westbrook now.
We'll get into it later because we're going to discuss. I'm not finished with them yet because I want to discuss Draymond Green. I haven't forgot what he said either. We'll approach that later.
I like that tease. Stay tuned for that. But meanwhile, it is the moment you've all been waiting for. Actor, comedian, friend of the show, Kevin Hart is here. Oh, look at this with a special birthday gift just for Stephen A. Oh, this is amazing. A Tebow jersey.
Tebow jersey.
That was so thoughtful.
I got you a
Why?
Tebow jersey.
Why, man? Why you do this, man?
That's your friend.
For what?
Because that's your friend.
Why you do this, man?
You always say he's your friend.
Say that's your friend. I came bearing gifts. You gonna throw my gift back in my face when I thought about you on your big day? Take the jersey and the hat.
And wear it the rest of the show.
Watch your voice.
That's your friend.
Watch your tone, man.
Oh, it's about to go down. It's about to go down. I use your cup.
It is the moment you've all been waiting for. Actor, comedian, friend of the show, Kevin Hart is here. Oh, look at this with a special birthday gift just for Stephen A. Oh, this is amazing. A Tebow jersey.
Tebow jersey.
That was so thoughtful.
I got you a
Why?
Tebow jersey.
Why, man? Why you do this, man?
That's your friend.
For what?
Because that's your friend.
Why you do this, man?
You always say he's your friend.
Say that's your friend. I came bearing gifts. You gonna throw my gift back in my face when I thought about you on your big day? Take the jersey and the hat.
And wear it the rest of the show.
Watch your voice.
That's your friend.
Watch your tone, man.
Oh, it's about
Watch your
to go
tone.
down. It's about to go down. I use your cup.
Make sure you catch First Take in prime time on ESPN Tuesday night for our NBA tip-off preview. We'll look ahead to the upcoming season in the half-hour special with the surprise guest. So tune in 9:30 p.m. Eastern this upcoming Tuesday. And remember, we are on ESPN. Our next guest is one of the funniest guys in the business. His new movie, Kevin Hart, What Now, in theaters today. We welcome the multi-talented, one of the hardest-working guys in the business, Kevin Hart, back to the show.
I love the introduction.
Thank you so much for being here.
That's for
you.
You
liked it?
I liked that.
Thank you. I like this. You
Yeah.
got him a Tebow jersey for
Happy
his
birthday. Yeah.
It was so thoughtful and creative.
I brought you guys gifts for his birthday, too.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I got you guys some cool stuff. You guys know I own headphones, so that's for you guys.
Oh, this is amazing.
I got
Real.
I
that's
love
for
it.
You guys,
Look at
music,
this.
White?
music headphones. It's
Loving
This
this.
is
I
awesome.
love
Thank
this.
you.
a smart
And
headphone.
I travel so much, so these will be
Yeah.
great for me.
It's like
Perfect.
the smartest headphone that you can get
Thank
right
you, brother.
now.
Appreciate it.
That's
Thank
for
you.
you guys on his birthday.
Yes,
So
thank
it's,
you.
the way I did that.
What? You brought them headphones and you brought me a damn Tebow jersey?
You said that Tim Tebow is your friend. Did you not say that? That's what you said. I'm going by what you said.
He's a wonderful human being. He's my friend.
He's my friend. He's my friend.
I don't do it like that. I say, he's my friend.
No.
That's what I say. That's what I say.
Word of the day, bloviate. Bloviate. You know what bloviate is?
Mm-hmm.
What Steve Smith does on a consistent basis.
Why you disrespecting me?
You just yap.
Why you disrespecting me,
You
man?
constantly yap, and I'm sick of it.
So?
This is your
What you
cupcake. I'm sick of it.
Oh,
I'm sick of your yapping. I'm sick of it.
violation.
Why? I know why. I know why.
Talk to me.
Because you know, you got the MVP, for
4 times.
the All-Star game, 4 times.
4 times.
One of those games, you scored 2 points, got the league MVP, the game MVP.
Do you understand what the
understand?
definition of MVP is?
Most
Stephen A. Smith?
valuable player?
Most valuable player.
Most
Do you
valuable
know
player.
what I'm
made you
valuable at?
valuable? What made you valuable?
Let's go break down what Kevin Hart does.
I'm listening.
I inspire. I motivate. I make people better. With that being the case, that's what I did on the basketball court that day. That's why I was the most valuable player. It's not about putting the ball in the basket. And if you knew anything about the game, then you would know that. Word of the day is bloviate.
He does sound just like you.
That's what you sound like.
Nah, you do not. Listen, man, you've been on the show several times. You've gotten beat down on several occasions.
I've never lost.
That's a lie.
I've never
listen,
lost.
Listen, that's one of the things you ever heard. My word of the day, fabricate.
Fabricate.
How about that one?
Bloviate is a lot better.
Well, you say bloviate. Where you get it from? Because you didn't know about it until I said it.
First of all,
So-
you know
so-
where I got it from?
Where?
One of the words that you pull out your behind because you don't know what you're talking about.
Oh,
That's what you do, man.
Okay.
Let's get into
So
it.
what is it that I don't know what I'm talking about? Because we're about to talk about several subjects. So
Talk about it.
Feel
Let's
free.
do it.
Feel free. Let's go.
Talk about
Let's go.
it.
Let's go.
You can tell me.
Mind your
talk to me
manners,
about
man.
anything.
Mind your manners.
Here's what you need to
Mind your
understand.
manners, man.
You're dealing with an almanac, okay? You're dealing with a man that made history. Do you understand who you're talking to right now? You are talking to Kevin Darnell Hart, a.k.a. the man that sold out the Lincoln Financial Football Stadium,
Oh, let's stop right there.
a.k.a. a record breaker.
Stop right now. You did.
Yeah, I
And
did.
by the way, the Garden, too, in New York City.
Yes, I did.
As well as various other places, because you were absolutely sensational. But you know why, right?
Why?
Because you're hilarious. You're hysterical. You're arguably the funniest man in America. But here's the thing. That means we get to laugh at you right now.
No.
You see what I'm
No,
saying? Yes,
you don't get
yes.
that.
We
You
get
don't
to
get
laugh.
that.
Yes, we're
And
laughing
don't
right
try
now.
to flip this
I am
and
flipping it.
compliment
I
me.
am flipping
Don't
it. Because
compliment me.
I'm flipping it because we're going to be able to laugh at the things that come out of your mouth yet again. You happy now? You happy?
Can you laugh at this? I made history. History. Where's my camera? History. Zoom in. Where am I? Here. Zoom in when I say this. I made history. Are you in?
I have no comment.
Zoom out. I say that to say, I don't do things halfway, Stephen A. Smith. When Kevin Hart comes here, I come here for war. You know why? Because I'm sick and tired of listening to what you say on TV.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well, I'm not going anywhere.
Okay. Well, you know what, Steve? Neither am I.
All right.
And if you really make me mad, I'll come here on a permanent basis.
No, you won't.
I'll show up every day.
No, you won't.
I'll show up here every day and I'll talk basketball, and I'll talk football, and I'll talk baseball.
You won't do it.
Because I could have done all of those things.
No, you could have.
I could have
No,
done
you
every
couldn't.
last one
No,
of
you
those
couldn't.
things.
No, you couldn't.
The
You
Sixers
talk
called
about-
me right now for a 10-day
The
contract.
Sixers?
Yes.
What, to be the water boy?
As soon as Ben went down, who you think got the call? Kevin,
Listen.
are you available? No, I'm not. Because I'm busy making history. What now? Zoom in. Zoom out. That's called camera work, Stephen A. Smith. You know nothing about that. All you do is sit here and eat your little cupcakes, and I'm sick of it. Cupcake number 2, ruined. What now? Zoom in. Zoom out. This is called TV at its best, Max.
I can see that.
I know what I'm doing. I come here and I take over. Everybody can't
All
do
right,
that.
let's do it. Let's blow
Let's
it.
go.
You ready?
Let's
We got
go.
the
Have you been
almanac, we got
emboldened by the fact that I beat
Let's
him in
go.
every debate? Does that make you feel more confident since I've been here?
I think you do
beating-
very well.
Yeah.
I think you do very well.
So we lying to people now.
I'm not
That's
lying.
what we doing?
I said I think that man does very well.
Yeah, you said it.
I'm a fan of the show. I have an opinion. You're not going to tell me what I should and shouldn't think. I've seen you guys debate. I like where Max goes. Max not afraid of you. See, that was Skip's problem. Skip would get afraid, and he would start to hunch his shoulders real weird, and then his stance would just get unconfident, and then he would slouch. You beat him down. Max ain't standing for that. You're not going to beat Max down. You're a bully with a capital B. You come here and you bully people with words that we don't understand. Half that stuff ain't even in a dictionary.
Excuse me. That would be him.
You got to.
That would be him. That would be him. That's not me. I've got nothing on him.
You're looking at a player that glossicizes. What? What did you say?
That would be him.
He
That would be him.
He glossicizes, and that makes him a traumatical disastication. What? What are you talking about? Okay? I hear you
Pretty
up
sure
here.
you did say galacticize at one point. I
He
wonder
does.
what it meant.
Never did it. Never
Up
did
here
it.
naming
Let's go.
dinosaurs.
Let's go.
That's-
All right.
Let's go. Let's
You
go.
mentioned Lincoln Financial. You
Yes.
sold it out. You're from Philly.
Yes.
You're Eagles.
Yes.
They the best in the NFC East?
Right now, I will arguably say yes.
Even after losing to the Lions?
Well, listen, you're going to have a loss, and I would rather it come there. We didn't have a loss in the NFC yet, which makes me still say we're the best in the NFC. The NFC goes down to what? The end. The NFC becomes one of the most competitive, I guess you could say, conferences within the NFL, simply because it's always coming down to the wire. None of these teams really outplay each other until the end, and it comes in the game of matchups. So when
Well,
we
where
beat
were
the
you last
Redskins-
year? Where were you last year when the Eagles stunk?
Oh, I'm
Where were
sorry.
you? I couldn't find you. I was looking for you. I couldn't find you.
Oh,
I
that's
couldn't find
right.
you anyway. You're too busy.
That's right.
But now they got a little. They win in a few games, and here you are.
That's right, because
Where
you
were
speak
last
about the
year?
Knicks.
Where were you last
Because
year?
you talk about the Knicks.
Oh.
Because I hear you talk about the Knicks all the time.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
You don't talk about the
Have
Knicks.
I not talked about Melo and the Knicks? I think I have.
No, now because the season hasn't started. Last year, did you talk about the Knicks?
Yes, I was very disgusted with Phil Jackson, who I think was doing a horrible job.
Yeah, but did you talk about him as a fan? So when you say, where was I? Who speaks up on the team's behalf when your team is losing? There's nothing to talk about. So as a sports fan, if you got nothing to say, you don't say it at all. Right now, guess what? My birds are flying. That's what we doing. Soaring. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna talk. I bleed Philadelphia.
Man is giving you the business on your birthday, Stephen A. Smith.
You know what? Another
bleeds-
cupcake. Ruined.
He bleeds Philadelphia. Couldn't find him last year. Couldn't find him.
You couldn't find me?
They didn't even want to acknowledge
You want to
them.
know where I was? Making history at the Lincoln Financial Football Stadium. What now? Zoom in. Zoom out. That's called camera work.
Go ahead, y'all.
You got nothing to say to me. Nothing to say.
I have nothing to say. Go ahead.
What's
Go
your
ahead.
favorite sport, brother? Is it basketball?
My favorite sport is probably basketball. Yes. That's what my passion is. I played 4 years of varsity basketball. I started my 10th through 12th. Honorable mention, several years. All public towards the end.
Name of the school?
George Washington High School. Until this day, you can walk in that school. There is a case to my honoring. My sneakers are still in there.
You're fully aware of the fact that we have a researcher that can check this, right?
Oh, check it. My sneakers are in that case. My uniform and it's ripped because that game I went up for the winning basket and I was pulled down on this side and they ripped my jersey, but I still made the layup. The biggest basket in school history. You can go Google that. Google Kevin Hart biggest basket school history ripped jersey and the picture of me will pop up.
Sabino.
Yeah, get on it. That's the one thing there. Also, I led the public league in assists. I averaged 4 assists my senior year. It was the most by any point guard under 5'5". That's a fact. And what else? Oh, one game I played left-handed because I hurt my hand in wood shop. And the coach was like, you can't do it.
Wood shop at George Washington High School.
Yeah, wood shop. I'm an amazing wood shop student, okay? We were building. I hurt my hand. Nail went through the center of my hand. I didn't quit. I said, tape it up. I play left-handed. I got
What were
two.
you studying? What were you trying to learn? To be a carpenter or something?
First of all, I was not trying. I am.
Right.
I built the birdhouse, put it in here right now, and you guys will be amazed. You'll be amazed. I built a 7-home birdhouse right now.
I can't take him anymore. Okay. I can't take him anymore. I can't take him
Take a
anymore.
quick break.
Fine, take a
I'm
break.
taking off this
Quick
ugly
break.
jersey.
Take a break. That's
No,
your
leave it
birthday
on.
gift.
Right.
You took off your necklace, you took off that, you got rid of my
You know
balloon.
what? Another
Come on.
cupcake.
No.
Ruin. Every time you do this,
More First
cupcake.
Take with Kevin Hart.
Ruin.
Stay here. We'll be back in a minute.
No cupcakes. What now?
I am Usain Bolt, the fastest man in the world, and people of Jamaica love and watch First Take.
Breaking news, and I chose to do it here.
despite your choice of bad suits. Do you know how upset it makes me to hear you guys go back and forth?
You know what I know?
What do you know?
I know that an MVP is somebody that doesn't score 5 points a game. I know that much. I know that much.
I chose to do comedy and act. I could have went the basketball route. I know basketball, Steve. First Take has became a home for me. You know why? Not only do we come here and talk sports and what's going on in that whole athletic arena that we follow, but guys, you allow me to come here and be myself.
Back here on First Take, Stephen A's birthday, Kevin Hart in the house. Kevin, I need to talk to you.
Let's talk.
Do you know what I deal with every day with these egos trying to get a word in?
Sounds like a lot.
It's a lot.
Sounds
it's stressful. And you have to try not to miff anybody and, you know, get to break, things like that, get commercials in.
It's not fair to you.
Yeah, I need to take a break from it.
You know what?
Take
I have
over.
no problem with
it's
taking
just,
over.
it's been a lot.
I have no
It's been a
problem with
lot.
taking over.
Stephen A. especially, a lot to deal with. I want to be nice because it's his birthday, but...
Your chair's a little higher than what I'm used to, but I'll get it.
Sure you can get up there? You need help?
Fine. Hey,
You good?
it's fine. It's fine.
I just want
chairs are
I was
adjusted.
just looking out. I was just looking out.
These chairs are adjusted.
I was just looking out.
Excuse me, Steve. I'm taking over. Okay?
Yeah.
You're not going to do to me what you do to her.
Exactly. I'm going to get some pointers.
Okay? I'm going to show you
Come
how
back
to run
stronger.
the show. All
Thank
right?
you. Yes, let's
Now,
do this.
this is your info here.
Yes, yes,
Okay?
yes.
First of all, let me do what you would do.
Yeah.
A few weeks ago, Usain Bolt was on the show and had some kind words for you, Kevin. Pause for sound. I'm not supposed
What
to.
kind of an inspiration was Kevin Hart to you?
I started following on Snapchat, and then I noticed that he works out every day. Like, there's no day that he doesn't work out, you know what I mean? So, for me, he helped to motivate me, because a lot of the mornings I get up, I'm like, oh. When I go on Snapchat and I see him and he's like, yo, no matter what, I'm up. I didn't want to get up this morning, but I'm up. So for me, that helps me, you know.
And this comedian and actor, from his workout regimen, helps you avoid the curse of the gifted.
Yeah, listen, he works hard. I have to give him that much. He's dedicated to always working out. You know what I mean? He always said, his new motto, he said he's got to get the motto out there. I go to work before I go to work.
Question, do you guys have a problem with Usain's comments?
I do. I'm trying to figure out
I want you to lower your voice. Lower your voice. You're not talking to her. You're going to give me the respect that I deserve. Don't talk to me like I'm a man. Go ahead.
I have a problem with what he said. I'm trying to figure out how in God's name.
I'm done with you, Steve. Max.
Well, clearly, there was some glossification going on with Usain Bolt for him to make those kind of comments. And he aggrandized the entire problem.
I'm following you.
You know what I mean? With his references to you,
Yeah.
who, while you're very athletic for an actor, for a comedian...
I'm going to stop you right there. I'm done. I'm done. You want to know what I'm seeing? You want to know what I'm smelling? Jealousy. Jealousy. I'm sorry that my body is perfect. What do you want me to do? I'm sorry that I'm in the most amazing shape that I can possibly be in. I'm sorry that I don't sit down and my underwear is flip over, that little band flip over like it does you guys.
Is that why you wore a onesie to the set today?
This is called a sweatsuit.
Oh.
It's called an athletic
I
sweatsuit.
wasn't sure.
Because you guys got
Thought
snap-off suits on that you can grab from the back and do what you want with. You mad at me? I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it.
I am jealous of you. I am jealous of you. You're rich. You're making movies every day. But that's not the reason why. You're living in California in the sunshine. And because you're living out there, one of many stars, you know, you get to walk down the street and people like, oh, that's Kevin. Hey, what's up? While me, I'm bombarded. I'm suffocated. You understand what I'm saying? I have no peace of mind. People might walk up to you occasionally, and they might want to just take a picture with you and say, congratulations, great work. With me, they want to debate. My life is harder.
Well, Stephen, here's what I want you to realize. A, you're lying. Nobody comes up to you. Okay? Stephen A. Smith does not have one fan. Not one. There's never been a request for a picture. There's never been a request for a debate. You are you're snap finger famous. That's the guy. What's the guy that's on the? What's the guy that's what's the guy that's on the thing? They're on the ESPN thing. That's what they do. They rev it up.
That's actually me. They know his name.
That's what they do. Okay.
I know you'd like to believe that.
No. I want you to understand something. I'm a big deal. But you know what I welcome? I welcome fans. I welcome engagement. You know why? Because that may make that person's day. So for you to sit here and tell me that it's hard that people want to come up here and support your craft, it makes me sick. Makes me sick to my stomach. Sick to my stomach.
Also has better reflexes than you.
He does.
Kevin Hart, let's talk to you for a second. Let's talk to you, Kevin. Kevin, you got a new movie coming out called What Now? You want to talk about it? Well, it's funny you asked me, Kev. Listen, man, this is my best work to date.
I love this movie.
My best work to date. I'm so happy about this movie. I made history, and I'm just trying to remake history again. I'm just trying to put my imprint in this generation. For me as a stand-up comic, man. So, you know, when you ask that question, it just makes me smile because I'm bringing joy to people's lives. At the end of the day, I love to live, I love to love, and I love to laugh. It's the 3 L's, man. So when you ask me that, it's just, it's mind-blowing. I just ask everybody to go support my movie because it's good. It's funny. The people have spoken, and that's what the people want. Kevin, I couldn't have said it better myself. Kevin's new movie, Kevin Hart, What Now, is actually in theaters. It's in theaters today, so why don't you guys do him a favor, go out and support that man. Kevin, any last words? I just want to say that I love coming here. You know, when I come here, you guys are really, really cool about me doing my thing. And it may be because I'm better than you at your jobs. I don't know, okay? The fact that I'm a walking almanac. The fact that I don't wake up. I ask for respect.
Don't point at me.
I ask for respect.
I think you know what an almanac means.
Yeah, I'm sure about that.
My name is Matt, and I got on a suit with a nice tie, so I'm gonna say something like this.
Almanac. I think you mean an encyclopedia.
I'm Mac, and I know words.
Like elasticize.
I'm sick of it. The both of you. You're gonna get this woman the respect that she deserves from now on, else I will come back.
That was the genius move, though. You just come to yourself. You tee up yourself. You killed it. You shut it down.
Happens to be a genius.
Before you get out of here, I do need to ask you a question because, you know, you are a basketball fan.
Ask me.
You're not a basketball player. You're a basketball fan.
This is ridiculous.
But I have to ask you a question. I want to know how you're feeling about this NBA season since Kevin Durant has decided to go to Golden State. What are your thoughts?
I think we have to respect the business that goes along with the NBA and understand a person's decision. When you have a choice, you have a choice.
No one really cares about your sports opinion. You're supposed to do something funny.
No, I'm going to give a real opinion. No, this is a real opinion, okay? He's my friend, and I'm going to give my real opinion on it. You want to see how I know basketball? I'm going to tell you how I know basketball. That man is looking for a championship. That man is willing to get it any way, shape, form. That's what he wants. He wants that in his career. We don't know how long that man plans on playing. He may be close to being done. He may want to get it now. Whatever his reason is justified to him. I support that. I back that. Russell Westbrook is also my friend. So Russell Westbrook, being the competitive person he is, and I don't know nobody that has that same hunger and that same anger that that man possesses on the basketball court, this did nothing but fuel the fire for him to be even more competitive and even more great at what he does. So you use it, and on the court, you do what you do best. You play ball. One should have nothing to do with the other. At the end of the day, it's a business. You make decisions that are best for you.
You're telling jokes in the movie, though, right?
I just laid down facts. And you know what I say after that? What now?
Kevin, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it.
I destroyed this show today.
Yeah, you did. You did.
Somebody
Show
can
me
put
how to
me
shut
out.
it down.
Put me
You
out.
Yourself. Thank you,
'Cause I'm
thank
on
you.
fire.
More First Take after the break. Stay here.
Bye, Kevin.
I'm
On your
fire.
first day.
I'm on fire. Put me out. Somebody bring a fire extinguisher out here.
Excited for this? Make sure you catch First Take in prime time on ESPN next Tuesday night. It's our NBA tip-off preview. Stephen A. Max and I are going to look ahead to the upcoming season in a half-hour special. A lot of surprise guests. So tune in 9:30 p.m. Eastern this upcoming Tuesday. And remember, we'll be over on ESPN. And don't forget, the First Take, Your Take viewer contest is here. And you could win a chance to debate Stephen A. and Max right here on national TV. All you got to do is go to firstTakeYourTake.com, upload a 1-minute video with your best original sports debate. Keep it clean, no music, team logos, trademarks, or copyrighted material. 2 winners will be selected by our show staff. So get busy, and we can see you right here in Bristol at the debate desk.
And just be sure, remember that you can watch the show every day. You're trying to send in a debate that you've watched that day. So if we're doing the show on Monday and you send in a video, it's based off of something we debated that day. Okay? And then we'll watch it in the next day. It's based off of something we debated
them because
that day.
you can strike out on Monday, Tuesday, maybe hit on Wednesday or Thursday. Keep going.
Keep them timely and fresh.
Here we go.
Speaking of which, Draymond Green is tired of Kevin Durant's critics and isn't afraid to express his opinion.
Give it a break. Everybody got something to say, and then want to take everything he say and twist it. Like, nobody complain when somebody leave Apple and go to Google. Like, aren't they in competition with each other? Nobody talk junk about the CEO that leaves Apple and go to Google. Kevin Durant is a big business. He's the CEO of that business. So him going to play basketball for a different team, the CEO decided to leave where he was at and go somewhere else. But there's so many guys in this league that's so stupid, they don't even think like that. Aren't you competitive in your day job if you work for Apple? Don't you want to outdo Google? What's the difference on the basketball court? It's your day job. You want to outdo the competitor.
Stephen A., is Draymond right?
He's right. And even though I was the one that, basically, Barkley and Reggie Miller and others have had something to say, but I called it the weakest move I've ever seen by a superstar. That doesn't mean that Kevin Durant is a bad person. It doesn't mean that he's an awful human being or anything like that. I happen to think he's a very good guy. I just don't approve of the move because I'm old school. That's my opinion as a pundit. As players that are competitors on the court with him, that's a different ball game, and that's what I took from what Draymond Green was saying, and that's why I have no problem with it. If Draymond Green was calling us out, that would be different because this is our job. But as players who actually play in the NBA, there is a heightened level of sensitivity that he should have in defense of his teammate towards anybody who would have a problem with it because you're Draymond Green, you're playing. You're the guy that dropped 32, 15, and 9 in Game 7 of an NBA Finals. I firmly believe nothing to take away from LeBron James and his greatness and what he proved himself to be, nor Kyrie Irving for that matter. But I firmly believe that if Draymond Green hadn't been suspended for Game 5, the Golden State Warriors would be standing here today as reigning two-time defending NBA champions. That's my belief. Having said all of that, I will say that Draymond Green clearly is a guy that is willing to come to the defense of Kevin Durant. And in Oklahoma City, you may have never had that because there was no one with the cachet in position to come to the defense of Kevin Durant when the heat came his way. Whereas in Golden State, when we see something like this, it perfectly illustrates why Kevin Durant would have wanted to go and play with that dude. Because you got a Rough Rider, blue-collar dog, and I mean that in a good way because I love me some Draymond Green, who's going to fight for you on the court and off the court. That's what he's talking about. It wasn't that what Paul Pierce said was wrong in any way. Paul Pierce is a champion. Paul Pierce has the qualifications. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. He has the qualifications to say everything that he said. But Draymond Green was completely correct in coming to the defense of Kevin Durant when it comes to contemporaries in the sport because the points that he made were valid.
Before I even get to that, where was Game 5 played?
Golden State.
Right. Did he play in Game 7 in Golden State?
Yes.
And he balled out, right?
Yes.
And who won the game?
Cleveland.
It wouldn't have changed Game 5.
Well, I think it would have because I think that Andrew Bogut was hurt for Game 6 and Game 7, and that was a huge deal because you had your formidable defender who's 7 feet, could block shots, could rebound for you, and the fact that he was out and Andre Iguodala was hobbled because he got hobbled at the end of Game 5 or Game 6. That's what I'm saying. That Game 5, they all walked into that game healthy. Game 6 and 7.
That was their best chance.
I'm saying
but that's the thing about a guy like Draymond.
No, I'm not excusing that. I'm saying Cleveland won the championship.
Right.
I'm just saying that the situations wasn't ideal for Game 6 and 7, just like it wasn't ideal for Cleveland in the first go-round when Golden State won.
The thing about a guy like Draymond is when you have that little borderline crazy player, and I like Draymond a lot. I'm a big fan. I think I'd probably rate him higher than you do in terms of like where he ranks in the NBA hierarchy right now. I think a lot of him. When you have that kind of personality, can he walk the line to stay in the game? And the answer was no there. Maybe it did cost him if you believe they would have won Game 5. Look, Draymond Green makes valid points here. It's impossible to deny the fact that this is their business. Only, sometimes the players and the owners get caught up in it, but the fans mostly get caught up in the fact that, you should want to win a championship more than what? Make money? No. Stupid. No. This is my job. I want to make money. So I understand what the analogy he's using, the metaphor is, he's the CEO of a business and he went from Google to Apple or vice versa. Mm-hmm. The problem is this. Let me change his metaphor a little bit. People like you, Stephen A. Smith, want Durant to want to be the CEO, and it's as though he was a CEO and accepted a job across the street he went from Google to Apple or whatever, and accepted a job as something less than the CEO. That's why part of the reason people are going at Kevin Durant. Not just that that's the team they lost to, not just that in some sense it feels anti-competitive to people. I'm not one of them. I love this. But it feels anti-competitive to people to join a 73-win team. Now you're going to reverse engineer your greatness. Look, I won a championship, therefore I'm great. No, no, no. You put a team over the top that should have been over the top already. That doesn't necessarily prove your greatness. That's another. But a big part of the reason is, as I mentioned in a previous segment, we want Kevin Durant to have a certain kind of alpha personality that he doesn't have, apparently. And some are holding it, I would say like you, are holding it against him more than others. So it's not exactly as Draymond describes it. He's just some employee going from one company to another. He's the top executive at one company accepting some lesser role at a better one. That's what people are really mad at him about.
Let me say this, not debating any points that you make. My point is I'm not debating any of that stuff. I have a problem with him going to Golden State because I think that is the team that beat you. You're one of the top 3 players in the world. You're not on some scrub team. You're on a legitimate title contender. And to go to the team that beat you is my issue. Had it been anyone else, I would not have cared. I do have a problem with you going to the team that beat you when both of you are literally on the doorsteps for a championship. To me, it speaks of traitor. That's what it speaks to.
And the way the message was delivered.
If it were the first round that you lost to Golden State, that's different. You're in a Game 7 of a conference finals, and you go to the team. I don't care what anybody says. That's how I feel. Now, having said all of that, this is the problem. And you know, Charles Barkley says this all the time. People out there are too damn sensitive. Like, for example, there are people out there that think I don't like Steve Kerr. I think Steve Kerr's a wonderful guy. He's a wonderful guy, and he's proven to be a great coach. My problem is I also think he's incredibly lucky because of the opportunity that he got. And he piggybacks off of what Mark Jackson did. So my issue is not with Steve Kerr at all. It's with the Golden State Warriors taking that opportunity away from Mark Jackson, because I think Mark Jackson would have been Steve Kerr. It doesn't mean that Steve Kerr isn't great. It means that Mark Jackson is somebody I believe could have been great as well, but that's an opportunity that wasn't afforded to him. But I talked to there's no owner in sports that I respect more than Joe Lacob. And he and I have talked on several occasions, and he's explained his decision, he understands, and we respectfully disagree. But I respect the hell out of that man, and that organization is phenomenal. But this notion that because you disagree with a decision, that you dislike the person and you hate what they are, what they represent, and what they stand for. No, Kevin Durant is a good dude, just like Steve Kerr is a wonderful man and a great coach. I just disagree with how things go down. And in Kevin Durant's case, there is no... the Lord himself could not convince me that Kevin Durant did not make what I consider to be the weakest move I have ever seen from a superstar in my life. A top 3 player in the world in a Game 7 of a conference finals, loses after being up 3-1, loses after choking in Game 6, losing after sit up there and coming up short in Game 7, and you turn around and go to the very team that beat you? I have an issue with that move. Not with Kevin Durant, the person, not with Kevin Durant, the basketball player, not with Kevin Durant, the basketball ambassador, the humanitarian, and all of the wonderful things about him. I have a problem with that one move. It will not change. I don't give a damn what anybody says. I can go to church, the pastor can sit there and pray with me. The Lord himself, I can't imagine, will convince me that I am wrong about that. I believe it is the weakest move I have ever seen, and I will not change.
We're going to be talking a lot more about this.
I will not change that. It will not. It was weak.
Let's leave it there. Coming up next, Colin Kaepernick is returning to the starting role for the 49ers against the Bills on Sunday. But does he have the most on the line this weekend than any other player? We'll discuss it next. Of us with a lot on the line for a lot of players, coaches, and teams. There's a great slate of games this weekend. One of the guys with the most on the line is Cam, who will likely return from a concussion this week to take his 1-4 Panthers. It seems crazy to say that, on the road to face the Saints. Andrew Luck has a tough road test against the Texans. Colin Kaepernick making his season debut. You know, all eyes will be on him against that Bills stingy defense. We also have the 3-1 Eagles facing the defending division champion Redskins. This is going to be a good Sunday, fellas. Stephen A. But who has the most on the line?
For this week, I'm going to tell you it's Cam Newton. He missed the last game, but the Carolina Panthers are a team that is 1-4 off of a 15-win season and a berth to the Super Bowl. And it has been what appears to be a complete collapse. Now, their offense has not been awful. Let's be very, very clear about that. They're the 10th-ranked offense in the league with the 3rd rank in yards, in yards accumulated. They're 9th, in their passing attack, 6th in their rushing attack. They move the ball. They've been doing some good things. Cam Newton is only completing 58% of his passes. He's got just 6 touchdowns and 5 interceptions in 4 starts. He's been taking entirely too many hits, etc. We know the things that he's done wrong. We know they have not been stellar. But the reason why this is so important is because he is the franchise. He was a guy that I argued with you, Max, was not first tier. I said to you he was second tier. And I said to you he was second tier because guess what? You needed to do it over again. It can't be a one-year wonder. And I'm saying to you right now, sort of the glitter is sort of faded a little bit. He's got to get this team on track. It's not just himself, but this team. He's clearly the guy that galvanizes them. And they need him in so many ways, not just to perform, but to inspire them. Because right now, they don't seem to be that same. I'm looking at this weekend needing to be a big one for him, especially going against Drew Brees, who you know is going to show up.
I have a great deal of respect for you. As you know, I personally like you very much, and it's your birthday. So I was really hoping today you could win one. I was hoping this might be the one. Right. I can't take it easy on you. Mm-hmm. You know, like when your dad is playing you in something when you're a kid, and he wants you to win, but he can't take it easy on you. You got to beat him fair and square. I can't take it easy on you, Stephen A., even on your birthday, but I was hoping you'd get this one right.
I don't ask anybody to take it easy on me.
No, you don't.
I can handle it.
No, you don't.
I think I can handle it.
No, it's why we love you. There's a clear, correct answer here this week, and it is obviously Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick, there are questions right now about whether ratings are down league-wide in the NFL because of his national anthem protest.
Wow.
Those questions are being asked. He has become the most significant social issue, person who embodies a social issue in this country, certainly in sports, so far in this calendar year. But so much of what you do, whether you're a footnote in history or whether you have an ongoing influence, has to do with athletic achievement. In addition, Colin Kaepernick took the injury provision out of his contract, voiding, if he is injured, tens of millions of dollars in guaranteed money, certainly 8 figures, over $10 million in guaranteed money should he get hurt. And he's going up against the Buffalo Bills defense, not just a stingy defense, a defense that hits the quarterback more than all but 2 teams in the NFL. As soon as they take the injury provision out, a rusty Kaepernick gets thrown first week on the road against that defense that beats you up. The most at stake by far in the NFL on Sunday is Colin Kaepernick.
Well, I understand where you're coming from because you're thinking about all the noise that he's made off the field and you're saying he has to perform on the field. But what I would say to you is that you just lost your own argument because of the points that you made. You pointed out things that have nothing to do with football. So as a result, and you also highlighted how the dead arm issue, the rust, and everything else. So if he goes out there and performs subpar or worse against an elite defense, or at least a defense that's become elite over the last 3 weeks, I'm making the argument that's exactly why it ain't that much pressure on them. In the case of the Carolina Panthers, even though their defense has not been what we thought it should be and what have you, they've had problems all over the place. And their franchise player, their $60 million guaranteed baller in Cam Newton, who was threatening to become the face of the NFL because of that magnetic style, that magnetic smile, his physicality, his athleticism, and the success. the way they're performing now compared to what they were doing before.
Biggest story in the
That's all.
NFL this year? Biggest story in the NFL this year? Was it Cam Newton or is it Colin Kaepernick?
No, the biggest story thus far was Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, right.
No
He's
question.
he's playing on Sunday.
Yeah, but that was the biggest story weeks
Drop the
ago.
mic.
It wasn't the biggest story this week.
Happy birthday.
It wasn't the
We
biggest
got to
story
go to break real
Happy
quick.
birthday.
Real quick. Speaking of your birthday, so I said we had 3 surprises.
Oh, Lord.
So we started the show with the necklace, the cupcakes, the balloon. Then we had, in case anybody didn't see this, the Tebow jersey from Kevin Hart. And now, after the break, we have our best surprise. We finally reveal Stephen A's birthday present right here in studio. Please do not miss this. It's going to be tremendous.
Happy birthday to you.
First Take is brought to you by the new Bacon King Sandwich. 6 strips of crispy bacon piled atop a half pound of 100% beef. Only at Burger King.
I got news for y'all. You see that man right over there? I'm not worried. Don't get me started with him. This is unbelievable. It will change your fortune.
Well, today is the birthday of our very own Stephen A. Smith. Happy birthday. We wanted to make it very special for you. So besides the birthday wishes that we send your way, we have a little bit of a surprise for you. So with no further ado, here is your sister, Carmen Smith Jackson, and she has cooked your favorite lasagna. Now, Carmen teaches at Roosevelt High School, home of the Rough Riders in Roosevelt, New York. But today, they allowed her the day off. We always hear about Carmen's world-famous lasagna. And we wanted you to have it on your birthday.
I can't believe y'all. This is a beautiful surprise.
How are you? So nice to meet you. Thank you so much for doing this. We love it.
Please.
All we hear about is
about you and your
Carmen's lasagna. We heard he tried to cook it on the show, on the Chew, right?
We heard you got so mad at him after Kimmel that you didn't make it for him.
I was so upset with him. But anyway.
What's it like
this is
being the big sis of this guy?
Well, he tries to treat me like the little sister.
Oh, no surprise.
But I have to remind him that he is the youngest out of all of us.
Yeah.
Hi, Lenny Lynn. Where am I looking at? Hi, Lenny Lynn. Hi, Ma. Everybody's looking because I told them I was coming. Okay?
It's unbelievable.
But it's very nice of you guys to do this.
Of course. We want to celebrate him. He's done a lot for me. I can speak to that.
I think he's blushing under the makeup. I think he's blushing.
This is my baby here, man. This is my ace right here.
Yeah.
I cannot
Family's
believe it.
everything. We got to
It's the biggest
celebrate
surprise.
life.
I want to thank everybody at First Take. This is the greatest surprise I've ever had in my television career. I can't believe it.
I love it.
And you know what? He
Thank you.
hasn't celebrated for 20 years because my oldest brother